Boys and girls, let's review today because we went over a lot of spear. So in this video, I'm going to do my absolute best to break this down for you. This is not going to be a full guide. This is going to be a first impressions look. I want to preface this video by simply stating that 1 week from now, I could completely disagree with some of the takes that I have in this video. Please understand, it has been how long, chat? I've been live for 16 hours right now, and I think the servers have been up since... Actually, I know exactly how long they've been up. 5.5 hours. So this is 5.5 hours of testing, guys. And let me kind of break down a little bit of what I've kind of learned about spear to help you guys and to give you my impressions. And I want to give a big shout outs to Welps. He's over here. I tested some stuff with him, kind of exchanged thoughts, and I don't want to put words into his mouth, but as of now, our impressions are pretty similar. But I'm sure he'll have a video. If he does, hopefully my editor can find it and link it in the description below. Would love to support the boys, support my boys. Okay, so let's talk about spear. Now, where do we begin? Okay, so there are... Okay, so we're looking at these skills right here. Okay, so in a nutshell, spear is a class that deals its damage via multi-hits. Okay, it has good AoE potential, very, very good AoE potential, and it has very good CC, and it has what I would say, or it's what I would call wand dagger like potential when it comes to large scale PvP, making big plays. A lot of people are asking me, hey, Kanon, is greatsword spear good? And my answer to that as of now is, do you consider wand dagger good? If that makes sense. It's like wand dagger being good is a very different type of good compared to a bow staff type of good, if you catch my drift, right? Right now, I believe greatsword spear is more of a wand dagger type of good. Again, I could be wrong. Later on, I definitely need to do more testing, but based off of what I can see, that's what it kind of seems like. Okay, the reason why is because there are a couple of standout skills with the spear. Number one is death from above. This ability is exactly what most of you guys already know. It is that skill that you can use from 30 meters. It's a cast, and it is an AoE fear. And yes, attacking fear targets does not wake them from CC. And you can vacuum them together using the Queen Bellendir spear, which I don't have on the KR version. I will have it on the NA version when it comes out, because the NA version spear is not currently out yet. Okay, this right here alone, if any of you guys have PvP'd, you know where I'm going with this, right? This is very clearly a huge play-making ability, especially if you have the suction. Even if you don't have the suction from Queen Bellendir, this is an incredibly powerful skill. The other skill that is incredibly powerful is Unyielding Sentinel. Now, this ability right here not only gives you 410 CC resistance, which helps you if you're playing like a CC resistance type of build, like I am. I'm playing collision resist with my SNS, but if you're using greatsword spear or any other class, the big value with this is number one, the heavy attack chance. You get 130 per target within an 8-meter radius. So if I use this right here, you can see my heavy attack chance is 769. You can see behind. This is the number right here, 769. Once I use this, okay, you're gonna notice after 3 seconds, this goes up quite a bit, right? Because it depends on how many targets are in the area. That's a lot of heavy attack. That's a lot of heavy attack. The other reason why this skill has crazy value is because in the skill specialization, you can get a 4,000 HP shield to you can add a 4,000 HP shield skill specialization to Unyielding Sentinel. So it's pretty nice to have a 4K shield. pretty fucking strong. Excuse my French. So between these two skills, you can immediately see the build potential, right? You pop Sentinel, you get a shield, you get heavy attack, you use death from above, and no matter what other weapon you're using, whether it's an Expo, whether it's a greatsword, there's a big playmaking potential right there. Right, guys? So these two skills is what hands down makes Spear, at the very least, as valuable as a wand dagger like class. And if you don't know what I mean by wand dagger, I mean wand dagger is widely known to be a class that has poor DPS but can blow up targets and set up huge sleep bombs on targets or on groups or on opposing teams or guilds that can literally be the difference between winning and losing even boonstones and riftstones, right? So Spears is a weapon that has that potential. Now, aside from these two key skills, how does it deal its damage? Well, there are two main... Actually, before I get into that, the other standout feature of this is obviously its CCs. If you guys have been following Spear, you know there's a lot of CC. Abyssal Cleave, this is essentially Stunning Blow, okay? There's a way that you can actually trade it so it just immediately prones, which is kind of cool. But you also have multiple stuns, so it comes with a lot of control. Greatsword Kids comes with the control, Spear comes with control. Now, let's talk about damage. How does this class deal its damage? Does it deal enough damage to stand on its own? Currently, I do not know the answer to that question, but I can tell you that this class, this weapon, is not a bursty weapon. It is not Greatsword. Greatsword is still the king of burst, okay? This weapon deals its damage in two different ways. You can either build for burst, and I don't mean burst as in like a general term. I mean literally the effect is called burst. So I want you to think, sorry if I'm speaking too fast. Daggers have kind of two different ways to deal damage, right? You can go poison spec or thundercloud spec, right? Spear is kind of the same way. You have burst spec. You have burst right here. I could have sworn, I think they actually changed it. I'm not even kidding. 5 burst down. Okay, never mind. Right here. Okay, so, sorry. I'm seeing things. Okay, so as you can see right here, the last sentence, it says, at 5 burst stacks, this skill can be reused up to 2 additional times. If you look at Flaming Arc right here, this ability, Culling Arc, so if I don't take Flaming Arc and I take Hastened Arc, this is just a better version. Just think of it that way. This applies a weaken called burst. Okay, so you have a burst spec and you have an ignite spec when it comes to Spear. Burst spec, ignite spec. Burst spec is more single target. I don't want to say like single target because it's not truly single target, but just if you try the ignite, you'll see what I'm talking about. But ignite is like way more AoE. Burst is less AoE, more single target damage. Okay, you can just think of it that way. Burst, honestly, I need to test more. It's the next thing that's on my list of things to test. I'll be honest, it's not flashy. It doesn't look super amazing. And I don't say that in a performance way. I say that from the perspective of like, it just literally does not look super flashy. Like Javelin Surge right here. If I were to take this is the ability, right? Whoops, sorry. Javelin, no, we'll use Vicious Fury. So we go Brutal Fury right here. This is the burst spec, okay? Brutal Fury. That's it. That's literally it. And I can use that consecutive times if I set it up with a CC. It's just as simple as that. Now, the abilities come off fast. It could be potentially good. I could use this. Well, hold on. I'm not sure why that didn't go off. Let me see. Oh, I did not use this thing here. If I use this, then I could use it consecutive times. I'm not going to waste your time. Anyways, I could use it up to 3 times, right? Now, that's pretty straightforward. Again, I'm not going to write off burst spec yet because I haven't tested it. But the multipliers are higher. But I'm just not completely sold on it yet. What I am sold on is the Ignite spec, because the Ignite spec is really, really fun. Okay, again, I'm not sure if it just outperforms burst. I'm inclined to believe it does, but it's just way more fun, in my opinion. You also have a lot more AoE, and let me show you how it works. So Javelin Surge, this ability, by the way, it is your ranged throw that you can throw. Okay, it does have the highest single multiplier in the game, but honestly, it's kind of lackluster because it's not AoE, unless you have Shy Cal's Spear, and that's only tier 1. If you take Inferno, then it changes this spec right here changes this skill completely. This skill now no longer has a cooldown and is reliant on Vicious Fury by taking Explosive Fury. Okay, now what does this do? If I use this ability, okay, by the way, I've now changed this Vicious Fury. You're gonna see this is an AoE ability. Okay, whoops, I don't think I had that spec'd out. Let me see here. Nope, we're good. Sorry, let me try that again. We'll use it on this target here. You can see there's AoE there, right? And this gives me 5 Ember Stacks. You see that? On 25-second cooldown. I think it was 25 to 30-second cooldown, right? This means I can use this 4 ability now within this time 5 times. And it deals a lot of damage, a lot of hits, applies an ignite weaken effect on them, and I can use it at range. So TLDR, the ignite spec, you're just essentially building with 5. You build with 5. When I say build, I mean you build Ember Stacks, and then you pelt them with the Embers. Now, this synergizes incredibly well when you start, especially if you're trying to build for AoE. With Dagger here, with Dagger, I have my AoE abilities here. Let me actually take some points out so I can show you guys. Abyssal Cleave. Let's just take this out for now. Okay. We're gonna go Dagger. Okay, so we're gonna go. Sorry, it's been a very long day. I'm having trouble seeing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so boom, we have that. Umbral Spirits. We're gonna take this off. I was doing some single target testing earlier. Sorry about that. Thundercloud Bombing. And then we take Fatal Stigma. AoE range. Okay. Now we're set up for AoE, right? Now watch this. We go here. Boom, boom. I mean, listen, I've tried this against mobs. By the way, I have a +9 weapon, open world dungeon, and it melts things. It's insane. And the crazy thing is, I didn't even use all my AoE. I've got this next skill that I haven't even talked about, which looks like that. Okay, let's talk about this skill. This skill is Phoenix Barrage. Again, this Phoenix Barrage skill is it's actually Cyclonic Fury, but you take Phoenix Barrage if you're playing the Ignite spec. As you can see, 114% base damage, 29 on critical hit, inflicts weaken ignite. So I take this, a lot of points, sure, but this gives me more ignite and it gives me more AoE. And this is actually a really good skill because you can also take this that deals increased critical damage, which, by the way, this weapon absolutely synergizes with critical damage, critical hits, even provides heavy attack in the form of Unyielding Sentinel, as we talked about before. And also, if you stun the target with my 3 ability here, I can deal even more damage. So you can imagine how much AoE potential you have with this. Okay, incredibly fun. Probably one of the most fun classes I've played. I love the AoE. It's incredible. Okay, and sorry, I forgot to show you Culling Arc right here. This is kind of the bread and butter default skill This ability is going to give you either weaken stacks or burst stacks. Again, you got to choose one or the other. There are a couple other skills that give you ignite stacks and burst stacks. Burst stacks in particular can only come from either Flaming Arc. That's your main application. You can get 1 stack from Storm Blitz, and you can also get 1 from Cyclonic Fury. I believe, yes. Those are your 3 main applications. I don't think you get one from Tempest, right? Yeah, those are your 3 main applications of Burst. That's with the Burst. But again, I need to test Burst out a little bit more, but Burst does not look and just feel as cool or as fun as Ignite. Ignite is just insanely fun. Okay, I would imagine Burst might be what you'd want to do for like single target bossing, but even that, I'm not entirely sure yet if Burst actually does more damage single target than Ignite. I even Whelp said the same thing. We got to do a little bit more testing, but that's kind of where we're at with that. Okay, so Flaming Arc, this ability, okay, you use it twice. Okay, the first sorry, I pressed it twice. So if I use it once here, boom. Okay, it's a little stab, hits a couple of times, and then this next ability, if I select the ability again, then it's an AoE circle spin attack. Okay, and that also applies Ignite. So between all of this, you just have an insane amount of AoE, and there's a lot of potential. However, the burst damage isn't incredible. If I don't have the dagger skills and I'm just using these skills right here, right? Yeah, this is pretty good. It's not bad, but like you will see, like in the open world dungeons and whatnot, it's not like there's a noticeable difference in damage between using this versus using this with the dagger abilities. I actually very much like Spear Dagger. I think it's incredible. I think it's incredibly fun. Excuse me. I don't know how. I'm gonna bite my tongue on anything on speaking into too much details when it comes to PvP. I did test damage with Whelps. We were testing it on each other, different evasion levels and whatnot, and the damage was surprisingly not bad. It really actually wasn't too bad. The kill potential is absolutely there, but again, don't expect like a one-shot greatsword home run. What I do like about this though is you can do a lot of these things on the run. So like this would kind of be this is kind of like something that you can kind of do here. I mean, these are just random, like I'm essentially button smashing here, but I like the fact that I can just simply move while I'm using a lot of these skills, right? Like that to me, coming from Greatsword, is just so much better. You know what I mean? Like if I have to stand still for a death blow or guillotine one more time, I think I'm gonna lose it, right? So, anyways, that is pretty much that's pretty much today's breakdown. I hope that helps. Before Dagger, I was trying to make something work with Greatsword, and if you like my opinions on Greatsword Spear, I think I did touch up on this. I touched up on this earlier in the video, but it's like Greatsword doesn't struggle locking down targets, and it doesn't struggle one-shotting people, right? Where Spear would add to Greatsword's kit outside of Unyielding Sentinel and Death from Above, is the potential to brawl with these abilities, right? But keep in mind, these require a lot of skill points. You can't take everything, and there's nothing in Spear's kit that I can see that is just going to make you, insanely tanky. Okay? If you build into like a CC resist, like if you go towards like a CC resist like build, then sure, Spear can help you become tankier in that regard to a certain degree. Obviously, Sentinel gives you a 4K shield, and there is some skill damage resist and some endurance that you can pick up in the mastery. But other than that, guys, this is not a SNS class. Like, you are still going to get caught and melt, right? this doesn't have some of the utility that dagger has, like stealth, like smoke screen, like shadow strike, like shadow walker evasion passive, right? So, some of these passives and utility and survival skills are not available with spear. So if you're kind of thinking, oh, finally I'm just going to be able to brawl out, I don't know if that's really going to be the case yet. Sure, if you're not being focused, open world, there's a lot of targets. Yeah, you can absolutely kind of brawl out. You're not going to be super squish, obviously, right? But I don't think you're going to sustain as long as some of you guys might think. A lot of you guys obviously were thinking from the beginning, oh, I don't think it's going to be super tanky anyway. So, you know, for those of you who thought that, then, you know, it's as expected. But yeah, like I said, I could possibly change a lot of my thoughts in the coming days. I am very much looking forward to cooking up some more SNS spear builds. I think that SNS spear is incredibly good on paper. I think there's a lot of potential with SNS spear. I'm very excited to get that built together. Unfortunately, today I am on in Korea, and I have dagger, bow, and greatsword here. I do have an SNS, but I don't really have SNS gear other than like a melee evasion playset. So I wasn't able to do too much testing there. I do plan on my next step. I do plan on extensively diving into SNS greatsword or SNS spear, because I am planning on playing SNS spear on global, and I already have a Queen Bellendeer spear that's ready to be crafted on global. So hopefully I get this video posted as soon as possible. Hopefully my editor can get this up, and yeah, hopefully this helps. But yeah, overall, I think the spear is incredibly fun. And yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's it. Sorry for the long video, guys. This is pretty long. I see it's a 22-minute video, but I really wanted to get every detail out, right? So I could just refer you guys to this video. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitch. There's a good chance I'm playing this right now. And I'll see you guys in the next video.